Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be playing F1 2019. It was available in Game Pass, so I decided to just give it a try for one video, see how it did. Now as we head down to turn 1, we are in the McLaren F1 car. This is my second official race in the career mode, just messing about and stuff. I learned about the fuel modes and stuff and did my best to learn about tire wear. I qualified around 10th, I believe. I'm not completely sure. But the cars are super sensitive in this game, and they seem to only really like rich mode when it comes to racing. But I feel like you can turn it down to lean and stuff if you're just in the middle of the pack and no one's really going for the overtake. Now going into the middle sector of the track, we are now up to 6th place behind Sebastian Vettel, I believe that is. Forgive me if I don't know every F1 driver name. I don't really watch racing that much. I mostly just play the video games, but getting used to this game, it was kind of hard getting used to DRS, having to constantly be moving the car back and forth. And I'm just not in general used to having such a sensitive car out on the track. But hopefully it will all go well as we lose some time to Sebastian Vettel. I really do believe that is his name, I'm not sure. But hopefully we can make up some time. I added an extra 3 laps of fuel. Now I do know the total amount of fuel you have in the car really does affect it, and that's probably why I'm falling back right now, because the car is probably way heavier than everyone else on track. But I figured if I could just leave it in rich energy, they'll start fuel saving because they probably underloaded the car, and that's where my strategy would kick in. As we're heading back into turn 1, we make up a little bit of time to Sebastian Vettel. And I really do like this first section of the track. You can pretty much cut that corner as much as you want. And here's the DRS zone, which kind of kicks in. Now the only real thing I don't like about this game is, well, on the controller, is sometimes in the DRS zones as you enter them, you find yourself, oh, the car has to shift up. But then you also have to press the DRS button or you'll get overtaken. But as I said before, hopefully we can all bring it together, as I completely just missed the dive bomb into whatever turn that was. I really don't know F1 circuit tracks names and stuff. Only a few of them, like Monza and stuff, as we hit our brakes super late and nearly send it into the back of Sebastian Vettel. But we have gained some time on him, so this is hopefully going to be a good run whenever DRS starts opening back up. As you get on the brakes a little bit earlier, just trying not to break the car yet or at all during this race. Now this turn right here I don't really like, because you want to keep turning in, but at the same time you don't want to hit the apex, as we send it into the back of Sebastian Vettel. And we actually do run off a little bit wide, and I think that's our lap time ruined. But hopefully we haven't done any major damage to his engine or my front wing. Hint hint at something in the future. Now as we come up to lap 3 of the Grand Prix, I decided to just speed up a little bit of the footage so you don't have to sit through everything here. And hopefully, nothing horrible goes wrong, as we completely missed that braking point for that first corner. And what I started to notice is that we are constantly losing time to Vettel here, as we keep gaining it in the front half of the track, and near the end he just kind of pulls away from us. And I guess that's just the power of Ferrari. I really hope that's a Ferrari and not a Red Bull. As we nearly kill him into this corner, our front wing is completely damaged. We run off the track again. And in fact, we've hit him so hard we get a warning from the FIA, that is, or race control, whatever. And that's basically our front wing, and we just completely forget to shift up from 7th gear for some reason. And this is going to be a very big struggle, as I don't know what to do at this point. I've basically punted the man out of this race, I think. And he's probably going to give me a nice punch to the face in the pits, as we've actually taken Sebastian Vettel out of this Grand Prix. What I'm guessing is that we'd hit the rear of his car so hard, in fact, that his entire engine has given up on life, and our engine is just going hotter and hotter because I keep forgetting to shift on time. And that is a horrible lap of the Grand Prix, and I will probably be beaten up by several people at the end of this. Now heading into lap 4, well, lap 5 that is, we have one less person to worry about right now, but as I said before, that I'm probably going to get hit with the baseball bat once I enter the pits. So now we're going on to lap 5, and hopefully we can gain some time as the leaders are fighting in front of us, too wide into turn 1, and I actually do take turn 1 slightly better now, and see if I can gain some time while they're battling, and use DRS to overtake. As you see, I kinda hesitated there on it, but now watch this. Going into turn 3, I decided to send the latest dive bomb in all of history and got completely blocked. Now, after watching this replay, I do believe that is my fault and that there was actually just no room there once he turned in. So I kind of just have to give him that position back. And race control is probably looking at me wondering why they let me in an F1 car to begin with, after not only killing a Ferrari and then sending a dive bomb up on another Ferrari, or I believe that was a Red Bull. And now Bottas is probably scared I'm going to send him into the next dimension on the next turn. We are nearing the end of lap 5. Bottas just basically lets me go on the inside because he actually cares about his life and thinks I will punt him to the end of eternity, but then decides nah, he wants his position back and takes it back. And I have to give it to him. That was a clean send around the outside. I'm playing a little bit too aggressive for a noob, and hopefully the car can actually settle down. As you see, we get a little bit of understeer because we're missing basically half of our front wing. So hopefully we can make it to the end of this Grand Prix without actually killing another person or taking them out and sending them to the shadow run. Now I decided to go into the pits and just deal with this front wing damage. I have auto pits on, so we're just going to speed through this. No one wants to see how bad my pit team is at the start of the season. So hopefully it's not too long. Only about 7 seconds, which is not bad. I was expecting like 10-15. Now we're in basically last place because we have to remember Vettel has been killed by us. So I'm surprised I didn't get a baseball bat to the face when I entered the pits. And that's just great news. It just means he's going to wait till the end of the race to hit me with one. Now we have some clean air. There's basically no one near me within a mile. And they're probably happy that I'm dead last because I don't imagine you want the guy that just killed someone to be next to you. And as usual, I say they're about over 3 seconds, about 10 seconds in front of us as I look down at the mini-map as they're going on to one of the big straights. So I decided just leave it in rich, don't bother saving fuel. And I do think this is what actually saved me to getting back into the points. And I also did remember that I did change my front tires during this race when I went into the pits to change my front wing. So we have done basically an undercut strategy by mistake, and we still have tons of fuel to burn off, which will let us catch up to the rest of the pack hopefully. And I'm not sure how this will go. We're only on lap 6 out of 14. I didn't know it would only be 14 laps. I was expecting 24 or so, but as we know, I don't really know the F1 settings that much, but hopefully we can make up some time here as we're just using as much as we can of this car. I did watch a few pros play it. They basically make no mistakes whatsoever, and hopefully I can stop making mistakes and be like them at some point. Now I'm going to skip to the end of lap 7. Nothing much happened. I figured you wouldn't want to watch a boring lap, but we've actually overtaken a lot of people in the pits, and somehow our undercut strategy by mistake has actually worked in our favor, as there's George Russell in front of us, and he's probably screaming in the radio to get this man from behind me. And we barely missed our DRS, so hopefully we can make it up in the next corner as we're in 12th place. Just decided to not send a dive bomb up the inside, and also stayed in 4th gear just to get a little bit better traction. I am using traction control for this race because I'm a complete noob and I definitely don't have enough time to practice with just Game Pass. As Russell behind us just decides to cut out the battle. He probably saw what happened to Vettel and said, I like my life. And I guess that was a great decision for me and the McLaren boys. And now that we have some clean air in front of us, all we have to do is worry about George Russell getting DRS from behind, which I'm not sure if he does, because as you can see, he kind of just falls back. Who knows, maybe he stayed off the gas just so he doesn't have to battle me. But I think this is the one time in this race I actually take this entire section somewhat decent, getting to the inside of the curve, dipping 2 wheels over, then turning back in. And now that it is lap 8, I don't remember my exact original strategy that wasn't the undercut, but I do believe this is where a majority of the people were supposed to pit, since everyone was on the soft tires. Well, this is not soft, this is hards. In this game, I've been playing a few other games where they call these softs. And just about a good quarter of the field is in the pits, and I just get free overtakes, which is amazing in my book because I probably would have punted them all to death by mistake and gotten hit with several baseball bats. So hopefully nothing goes bad like that. Now I've skipped from lap 9 to lap 11 where we've caught up with Max Verstappen, I believe that is. And I don't think these people want to be behind me either, as I completely kill Max Verstappen again. I decided to let off the gas and give him back the position. And I really just don't like that corner because you have to get the entry basically perfectly. And you can't just slam on the brakes while turning, you gotta wait a little bit. And it just kind of feels like a weird corner. And it's probably not the best thing that I've just ass-packed Max Verstappen, basically. Who knows, I might have taken another person out. You know, the Ferrari and the Red Bull boys are going to want a piece of me after this. Now, we did actually get DRS up the inside of Max Verstappen, I believe. But apparently he just has a better engine. And so we just got to sit behind, take the best line we can, and hopefully get some DRS on the front stretch instead. Which we do, but at the end of the day, I think I've busted this engine up too much, just redlining third gear and stuff. But hopefully it makes a difference, as we're just a little bit too behind to send a dive bomb into turn 1. But our front wing did unfortunately get catched in his rear tires. And we did lose a bit of time, but we are somehow still within 1 second of him, so we do get DRS again. And now we're just going to try to make up as much time as we can. There, we're right behind him again, but he gets the better exit of corner 3, I believe that is. And now if you look at our fuel, we've been using all rich revs basically, which I think has killed my engine a bit. And we have burned through almost all 2 laps of fuel we have had. So hopefully we'll still have some extra fuel by the end of this race to just keep it in rich and nothing bad happens. Now as we come up to the corner of death, I still brake super early and nearly kill Max Verstappen, I believe that is. Now in front of us is Valtteri Bottas, which hopefully he won't be mad at me for killing his teammate, I believe that is. I do think he is in the Mercedes, I am not sure. Now while we're just in the 4th place of this pack, I'd just like to ask you to subscribe if you like the videos. Unfortunately there won't be another F1 2019 video, but maybe when the new F1 game releases and my computer can run it, I may try to record it on there. So if you like the content, feel free to check out other videos. I have a set of Corsa and a bunch of other stuff. Thank you. Now we're at the end of lap 12. We're going into the second to last lap of this Grand Prix. And Max Verstappen has decided he wants his position back, and he wants it now. And apparently he just turns up the engine mode, uses all his ERS, and has just overtaken me like it is nothing. And I'm fearing that my undercut strategy may have left my tires dead at the end of this race. And hopefully they are good enough to take him over in the final lap, as even DRS has done nothing and he does a little bit of a brake check on us. Or is that my fault? That's up to you, but he takes the corner completely wrong. So I decided to just go up on the inside, and he just uses his, what I believe they use. I'm not sure which engine he uses, but I do believe it is from Honda or somewhere, I don't know. But we are coming to the middle sector of this track, I like to call it, and we try to send one around the outside. He squeezes us wide. I actually hit my braking point perfectly. He has to go behind me. We're getting the DRS, I believe, somehow, even though he is behind me. We got DRS, because that makes sense. And it's amazing, because if I didn't, I'm pretty sure he would have overtaken me like it was nothing. Now all you have to do is bring this car home, and we can actually get right under a podium. Which is amazing, because I basically killed a few people, and did an accidental undercut strategy, and basically ruined my front wing, almost during the whole race. So I don't know how this has happened, but it just has. Now we're coming up to the final sector of lap 13. I go a little bit too slow and accidentally cut the corner a bit too much. Didn't keep up good momentum, but we do have rich energy on us. We have about an extra 20% of a lap left. As Max Verstappen just closes in, I decide to go defensive. He goes even deeper and actually decides to stay behind me going into corner 1. Now corner 2 this is, I believe. I just run it a little bit wide, just trying to keep my momentum up as fast as I can. Hopefully I don't just get absolutely destroyed here. Now hard onto the brakes again, just turn in, keep the momentum up. We're running out of fuel here. We got less than an extra 20%. Might have to turn the rich revs down a bit. And the tires are starting to die on us, so hopefully everything stays together in the final lap of the Grand Prix. Now going into this corner, I turn a little bit wide, leave the inside open by mistake, and we are seriously running out of fuel here as the fuel gauge is going off. I try to cruise into the corner a little bit, but hopefully he just doesn't pass me. Now going onto the straight, I'm thinking about whether I'm going to have to turn this engine down. I do a little bit of short shifting up into 8th gear automatically, and unfortunately I think I'm going to have to turn it down to standard revs only, as we're going into the final sector of this track, and he's right behind me, not giving me any time to breathe. Using as much as the road as we can, we nearly spin out on the exit of the corner, just pushing the car that much. Now we're on to the back stretch, I basically think this is, and he's still right behind us within DRS range, so he may actually get us on the front stretch, who knows. Now we're going into the final corner, just powering it out all the way through. Hopefully nothing happens, and I think that is a 4th place, everyone. That is a 4th place. Thank you for watching. I have more videos, feel free to check them out, and goodbye.
Waste another day, eyes on my display. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it.